Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 53 of the Video Games Ahoy podcast. My name is Jonathan Radford, and today I'm joined by Daf Gape.
Hello there.
How is it going, Dav?
It's going good, buddy. It's going good.
Yeah, it's been a while. We actually missed last week, which is a shocker because we've not actually missed many. I will explain why very briefly. Dav, actually, you've just had your second jab, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
How did you react to your second jab?
Absolutely fine.
Yeah, I wasn't. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as the first time, and obviously I'm very grateful that I've been able to have it. So there's no complaints on that. But I was just I was so lethargic. I was sitting in bed. I was like, I could barely move, and I texted you in the morning. I was like, I don't see this happening. And well, it's just me and you at the moment. So there was literally no one else. It was just you. So yeah, but we're back. We're back, and it's nice to be back. It's really nice to be back. Should we talk a little bit about the podcast, Dav? Should we have a little chat?
Go on in.
So if you are listening or watching us for the first time, then hey, we're Video Games Ahoy. This is we've just celebrated our year anniversary, like 2 weeks ago, I think it was.
That's year, if you're not from Wales.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm from Wales, so like pronouncing.
I'm also from Wales, but not as Welsh.
Yeah. We celebrate. I think it was the 28th of April. So it's we've been going one whole year. Yeah.
A whole year.
But yeah, it's so if you're watching this for the first time, then hello, and if you're back to watch us again, then hey, how's it going? We put these episodes out every Friday. Now we used to put them out every Saturday, but now we put them out every Friday. But we also put the podcast out live because it was a lot of fun. We did it for our 50th episode a couple of weeks ago, and it was a lot of fun. So like, you know what? Let's just keep doing it. So yeah, if you want to check us out, if you can't watch the whole thing, then we put these out on Friday morning. So watch and listen to that there as well. And you can listen to us on a whole host of sites. Dav, do you have any off the top of your head, your favorites?
Spotify, Deezer, iTunes. There are more.
And our favourite, iHeartRadio.
Oh, iHeartRadio. Yeah. You get 80% of our listeners from
iHeartRadio. For some reason, I don't know why. And if you want to see our faces, then you can either rewatch us on Twitch or you can watch us on YouTube because we check those videos up on YouTube as well. So make sure you come say hey. And we'll talk about the Patreon page at the end because we offer a lot of things. I've been saying it for a while, but we are in desperate need of doing the Hall of Fame. We probably need to do two. Yeah. We're behind on two because we've sadly not had Dav Weeks and Zach for a while. So when they're both back, we'll do a new episode of we'll probably do two actually. Maybe we'll do them back to back, and we'll check out some of the older podcasts, the older VGA Hall of Fame as well because they're a lot of fun. We say this every single time, but they're a lot of fun. There's some, I would say. The last couple of episodes have been less, not even stressful. They've all just been like, yeah, I agree with all of those choices. They've all been fine. But
I believe I didn't bring an argument for one game 1 week, so it's just like, go on, don't vote this in. Dare you?
Yeah. I can't remember. I think I know what it was. I'm not going to spoil it, but I think I know what it was. But yeah, I will talk about that at the end. But Dav, should we talk about news? Should we talk?
Go on in.
We'll talk. We'll start off with what would it be if we didn't start off with a little bit of Nintendo news? And what kind of podcast would I be as a big Nintendo fan? So basically, we'll talk about Nintendo because they just announced their financials for the last year, which is pretty incredible. We'll talk about a couple of things, but so the Nintendo Switch we'll talk about specifically, obviously. It's now past Game Boy Advance on the amount of units it sold. So the amount of units they've sold is 84.59 million. I think the Game Boy Advance was like 83. It's around that mark, but it's definitely past it. And they've, I think for the year, they sold 28.83 million units, which I think is like the third best for units sold in a year for any Nintendo console, and that includes like the DS and stuff,
and the Wii.
It's already on track to outsell the Wii, like we've just mentioned, and the PS4, and it's actually selling faster than both of them at the same pace. So we should expect to outsell the Wii in the next year, which is again insane because it's only just hit its 4-year mark, which is mad.
So the Switch is going to beat the Wii and PS4.
Yes.
And then what's left? Is it just PS2?
It's PS2 and DS, which are the really the really big ones.
Yeah.
I think it's very close to overtaking the Xbox 360 and the PS3 as well. If not already,
Right.
it's either overtaking them both or it's just about to overtake them. It definitely will.
Madness.
But PS2 was like 154 million and the DS is 150. But there's loads of reasons why those two might never really be matched, because we said it a number of times on the podcast, what they gave people technology-wise. Like the PS2 was a DVD player, which most people didn't have, and the DS was essentially a mobile phone before without the mobile phone bit, it had everything else. It was a smartphone basically. So there was loads of things added into that. But yeah, it's just looking at the numbers. I mean, 28 million units for the last year is genuinely incredible. And when you think about what I know, in some ways you can think the last year has been COVID related. People have been working at home, but at the same time, people have had less money. So like it's a really, really crazy number.
Yeah.
And I think from what I read earlier as well, they're looking to sell another 25 million for the next year as well. So like I said, that means it would be 110 million. So it's going to smash past the Wii. I think the PS4 is the next one, which is like 110, 15, something like that. But it's definitely within reach. I'll get into the software in a little bit, but I guess the one thing I would say, are you surprised, like, at all? Considering that it's something we've spoken about quite a lot, but now when you get the official numbers, it's different to when we like sort of say we think it's going to beat this, but now we have like actual numbers.
It is mad that like a console with these as controllers that just click onto the side is about to beat the PS4.
Yeah.
Which, like, in my head, the PS4 is the best-selling console of all time. I know it's not, but in my head, like, I think of like global takeover of all three companies.
Yeah.
And you think PS4, like, the way they dominated the Xbox One and the Wii U. Like the fact that the Switch is about to just do that, just willy-nilly, with not too many games.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've got the top 10 best-selling games and then another couple after that. But you made a really good point about the PS4, and the one thing the PS4 actually is, and I've read this 2 days ago, it is I think it's the most profitable console of all time. So, or it's sold the most in like dollars. I think maybe it's the highest selling in dollars or profit. I can't remember which one it is, but it's one of those. So yeah, you're totally right. One of the most successful consoles of all time, and it's almost being overtaken by a console that's barely been out 4 years, which is absolutely incredible. And it's interesting as well because you make a really good point about the software sales, because there's loads of games that have been so many games have been postponed that should have already come out. Like we look at stuff like Breath of the Wild 2, which I imagine would have come out by now if it wasn't for COVID.
Metro Prime 4.
Metro Prime 4 was another one, maybe even Bayonetta 3. You know, these are original games that probably would have hit the shelves if it weren't for COVID, so that, you know, the sales could have been even more. But I'm going to go through the top 10, and
let me have some guesses.
I was going to say, throw out some guesses. Okay, do you want to guess, what do you think is number one? Should we go from
Mario Kart 8.
It is still Mario Kart 8, and its lead is actually... I think it's extended since the last time we saw it. So
madness.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I should say, is actually just about to overtake Mario Kart Wii, which is the best-selling driving game of all time. If you include Mario Kart 8 as well, the original on the Wii U, it's already sold 40 million. But even if you just say Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, just the Switch version, I think it's the second best-selling driving game, and it's about to become the first. It's going to outsell the Wii, which is incredible because it's a port.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I think you can already guess what's second.
Smash?
Animal Crossing.
Oh,
Animal Crossing sold 20 million units in the last year, but it sold 32 million units in the last year because it came out March last year. So 32 million units in a year, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. For a game on one console as well. It's insane.
And a game so niche in what it provides.
It really, really is. But then I know so many people who bought Switches to play Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
It really makes you realize, wow, they hit it out of the park with that one. I'll just run through actually, if you can get it, all right, go for number go for the top five. Go for the top five.
The next Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Smash Bros.
So you got two of the three, and you'd be surprised with the third one. So in third place,
Splatoon 2?
Third place is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. In fourth place is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Smash is 23 million sold. Breath of the Wild is 22 million sold. Pokemon Sword and Shield, because obviously they always put them together. It's 21 million units sold. And then Super Mario Odyssey is just 20. But that means they've got 6... It's interesting because we look at Pokemon Sword and Shield and go, they're kind of two different... You have to buy both of them to two different games, I guess. You have, But they put them both together. Even if you're saying that the Switch has got 6 games that are solely on the Switch that are sold over 20 million units. Which is... Those are all of those games. I mean, if we're looking at it, 7 of the Switch's top 7 best-selling games have sold more units than the Wii U. Super Mario Party.
But half of them are bloody ports of the Wii U
exactly,
games anyway.
That's the thing. That's the thing. So rounding out the top 10, you have Super Mario Odyssey on 20 million, Super Mario Party on 14 million, which recently got an update. I haven't had a chance to play, but it means you can play online, which is great. When Dev Weeks comes back, maybe we can try a bit that online. Pokemon Let's Go on 13 million, Splatoon 2 on 12, and then Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe on 10. So I'm just going to go into the next couple of categories, because I think this is the more interesting one. So see, these are some of the best-selling games that obviously don't crack the top 10, but some of them are really interesting. So Luigi's Mansion 3 is so close to breaking that 10 million barrier and into the top 10. It sold 9.5 million units, and I'm fairly certain, I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain it's either one of or the best-selling horror game. But that could be wrong, but it is one of the best-selling. If you include
is it a horror game?
I guess it is. I guess it kind of, not a horror game, but you know what I mean, like
Halloween theme kind of.
It's technically scary, so I guess if you have to include it with something, it's crazy. But yeah, 9.5 million. Mario 3D All Stars sold 9 million units in 6 months, which is mad.
Those bastards.
Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is 5.59, and I think that means by now, because I think this comes back to the last month. So by now, it's either already been overtaken or it will soon overtake the Wii U in 3 months. So in 3 months, it sold 5.5 million units. Wow. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on 5.49. Paper Mario The Origami King on 3. Pikmin 3 Deluxe sold 2 million. And Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition sold 1.5. There's a few others in there which have sold more, but those are the more recent ones as well. Do you know what? I'm going to add this little bit of news in as well, because this kind of tags onto it, and it actually talks about Pokemon Snap. So Christopher Dring of GamesIndustry.biz has some extremely impressive news for Pokemon Snap. And on Twitter, he wrote, despite being on sale for just 2 days of the tracked period, new Pokemon Snap was the best-selling boxed game for the entire month of April in the UK. And again, this is only physical. That's only physical sales.
Oh my god!
When you think of the games that came out as well, like Returnal has just recently come out. There's a couple of other big games that have just come out in April.
Well, they came out on the same day as Returnal.
Well, there we are then. So it apparently it sold it 5-1 as well. I mean, we assumed it would because the Switch has there's way more Switches available on the PS5.
Pokemon
and it's Pokemon
nostalgia,
exactly. So I think if we just take all that in together, that is. I don't know. It's weird because I don't want to say the Switch is the most. I can't say if it's going to beat the DS, but I think if they play their cards right, the Switch might be the most successful console Nintendo have had in the sense that where they came from to where they are now.
The growth from the Wii U, it's absolutely mad. There are certain metrics in which you could say the Switch is the best Nintendo console there's ever been, and it's the most successful console there's ever been, based on different metrics that you're going to use. And I think that alone is, considering people were saying 5 years ago, oh yeah, Nintendo should just
dead.
put the games on Xbox. Yeah. Oh, Xbox are going to buy Nintendo, and they're going to put the games on mobile. I mean, they did put some games on mobile, but weird games that are rubbish. Considering this is the company that just released real life RC cars for Mario Kart that you can use cameras on to make tracks around your living room, and 2 years ago made cardboard VR.
Yep.
I love it. And then you've got Sony bloody closing down Japan studio, who are making the most interesting first party games they have.
Yeah, and it's one of those things as well which makes you realize just how much we need Nintendo. there are many things we can get, and I get annoyed at Nintendo. I love Nintendo, but I get annoyed at so many things they do. But at the same time, the one thing you can't say about them is they always try and innovate. Sometimes it's a bad thing. Sometimes they'll try and innovate for no reason. And if
they often try and innovate.
Often, what I mean by that is like when it even comes to like Mario games, they'll be like, what can we do different? What can we do?
Yeah.
Always, and that's sometimes so often like it's not a good thing. Like with the Wii U, if they'd actually just marketed it better and actually tried to be like, this is the next console, it would have been better. But like, yeah, it's absolutely bonkers. It's just some of the sales are incredible, and it's only gonna increase. And I think actually you made a really good point about the Wii U and obviously being the follow-on console as well. If it tracks the way it is and it gets to 110 million units by the end of next year, it means that it would have sold almost 100 million more units than the Wii U, which is incredible. There's nothing else to say there.
Nope.
But yeah, Nintendo are absolutely smashing it, and I mean, we're just over halfway for the Nintendo Switch.
Madness.
Wait till the Switch Pro comes out, Dav. We haven't mentioned that in a while. Right, let's move on. So, Chris Scullion of VGC reported that this is this is a Sony story, and this is something you actually messaged me about the other day, and I've been reading about it today as well. So Chris Scullion of VGC reported that Sony will only support crossplay in games if publishers agree to compensate it when it isn't earning its share of revenue, according to Epic Games CEO. So I don't know if anyone knows, if you're not watching or paying attention right now, there's obviously Apple versus Epic Games is the big thing that's happening right now. And
so fascinating.
Loads of things are coming out from it where I'm just like, wow. Like, they've spoken about, like, stuff that's come out about PlayStation 4, it just isn't profitable. It's the console, they make a loss. And the Xbox has made a loss on all of its consoles, and all of these things are coming out. Well, something that's come up from Epic Games is basically saying that Sony want to be compensated if... So, Dav, do you understand? Because I was trying to figure out...
So, basically how it works is you can have a game that plays on PS5, Xbox Series X, Series S, PC, right? That's absolutely fine. But if you want crossplay with the PS5 ecosystem and the other ecosystems, then that's going to come at a cost. Yeah. So, if you want the separate ecosystems, that's fine. PS5, Sony will still get their cut of your game sales. If it's just no crossplay. Once there is crossplay and the amount of market share and profit that company makes on that game, if the amount of profit that comes from the Sony end dips below a certain amount,
85%, I think it was.
Below 85% of what it would have been, of a certain amount, then Sony will take some of that money that you've earned on Xbox, on Switch, on PC. In order for you to have crossplay,
it's one of those things. And Dav Weeks is often like someone who mentions this quite a lot from like one of those like business from a business perspective, like, you know, cutthroat business world. I can see why they've done it, but at the same time, it's like they're the only company that does do it, and they're completely like it's one of those things where. It could like so many times the PlayStation have been frozen out, or maybe not even frozen out. They've done it to themselves most of the time, I imagine. But like, there could come a point where like other companies, like Epic, could just go, no, we just, you know, we're not willing to do that, and then you it just drives you to go and play. If you want to do crossplay, okay, well, I'll play this on my Xbox because I know I can play it on my Switch as well. Use Fortnite as the example, as it were. It's weird because we know Sony want to be number one. Yeah. But at what cost? You know, especially when you see how consumer friendly that Microsoft and Xbox are, and how much they not so much want to work with other people, but they do try and they talk to everyone else, and they try and be like, let's drive standards, let's do all these kinds of things. It's just, I don't know. So we've said this for the last couple of episodes. Actually, I just think Sony have made some really bad decisions, and stuff like this just makes you go, well, they've been doing it for a long time.
No, I don't know what metric we're using for good and bad. I know what you mean though.
Yeah.
I do know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
And like, it's just tasteless. It's just it leaves us worse than tasteless. It leaves a sour taste in your mouth of like, okay, yeah. I don't feel respected as a human being by their business practices. And I have a PS5, so like I am a walking contradiction, but I haven't bought a single PS5 game.
Yeah.
Because I am nowhere near ready to be paying £70 for a PS5
No
game.
way,
Like,
man.
what a joke.
No way.
Once that becomes a market standard and I have no choice, then we'll talk about it.
I just stop playing games because I can't afford it.
Yeah, I still find it tough paying the extra $5 for a Switch game.
Honestly, man. Honestly. Like, and it's like, especially when games, and you make a really good point. We'll go off on a tangent on a little bit just on that because I want to talk. I don't know if we'll actually get a chance to talk about Returnal, but maybe we will. But I just want to briefly say, like, use Returnal as an example. There are so many people who say this game is very, very good, but it comes with it still needs a patch. It still needs fixes, and there's still things that are not 100% complete. You're paying £70 for that privilege. I don't know, and it's weird as well because in America they pay $70, but it's not 70. It doesn't work. It doesn't work out the same here. If we were paying in dollars, I think someone worked out it'd be more like $96 for us. It'd be way closer to $100 than it would be to $70. So for us, £70 is really. And I know it's even worse in Australia. You know, in Australian dollars, people are paying like over $100, like sometimes 116, something like that. But I don't know. With that thing, if you're going to start charging at like £70, 70 whatever, you really need to make sure your games are coming out flawless.
When a PS5 game is £70 and you can get a next-gen Xbox for £250.
Yeah. With Game Pass, you know.
What's going on?
What's the point? And I know we mentioned Game Pass quite a lot, but like I said this last time. One of my friends, Carl, he built an Xbox, the Series S, and he bought a PS5, and he was like, I bought a Series S because I want to play Halo and all those things. He said he's just, because of Game Pass and because of how much he loves the UI from the Series S, he's played that way more than the PlayStation. And if you have got Game Pass as well, and you're getting all the new games coming through, you're not paying £70, whatever it is. I don't know. There's something that needs to change with Sony. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just we need to get with the times, but there's just a part of me just thinks... I
think it's going to be gradual. I think Sony are going to have to do something because every other business in the video games industry right now is looking at engagement and not money. Sony are still looking at the PlayStation back and making money. Hey, Cutty, welcome on in.
Hey, Cutty, how's it going?
They're still looking at everything as like, well, right, but how much is this decision going to make us?
Yeah.
Whereas you look at, because they're at the top, so maybe that's why, maybe they just can
make those decisions, yeah.
You look at Nintendo, you look at Xbox, you look at companies like Epic, like they're working on engagement. They're working on how often can we be in how much of a mind share of someone's head can we take up?
Yeah.
And how often can we have someone's eyes looking at us?
Yeah.
Because the more often that someone is engaging with your product, the more likely they are to spend money.
Yeah.
And so you focus on engagement, and it's a much cleaner way, and you make people happier, make it more consumer friendly, and you leave it up to them to make that decision on the money. Maybe it's a little more of a sideways way of like, oh, you're going to give us money, but we're not going to ask for it, maybe. But at least it feels more consumer friendly than just going, there you go, £70. Oh, you want to play God of War Ragnarok? Oh, £70. There you go. And you can play one of the greatest games that's going to come out this year.
Yeah.
And it'll be on our system. Lucky you. It's like, oh, you want to play Halo Infinite? Yeah, sweet. £1 for the first 3 months of Game Pass, you're in. There you go. Enjoy 3 months of Infinite. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. You only cost £1.
Yeah, sorry, man. I got something stuck in my throat. Jeez, keep talking.
It's all right. I could talk forever. You know. But I just think, like, and with Nintendo as well, you know, Pokemon Sword and Shield, they brought out DLC. Like, they're getting with the times.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the expansions for Pokemon Sword and Shield are much better than the actual game itself.
Yeah, my brother said that as well, because which is the second one?
The second expansion is something about the Tundra.
Oh.
The Crown Tundra.
Crown Tundra. He really loved that. He actually loved them both, but he really enjoyed the second one. Man, I got something stuck in my throat. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I'm start coughing like a maniac any second now. But
you're getting upset about your PS5.
That's what it is. I get upset with PS5. We actually mentioned Returnal. I just want to keep mentioning it because one of the big issues with it has actually been the fact that runs can last 3 hours in those games and you can't save. It's been a really, really big issue for a lot of people. And to be fair, a lot of people have been saying, please put a save system in there where, you know, because some people can't spend 3 hours doing it. I understand both ends. I understand that this is how they intended the game to be played. This is how they intended it to be played. And I also understand that not everyone has that time. I certainly couldn't spend 3 hours on one single run, and I couldn't put it in rest because I use my PS5 for other things. And I'd like to jump between games. I don't always like to play the same game. I like to jump between.
And if you put it in rest and there's an auto update, it'll blank the run.
Well, that's exactly what I was just about to say. So basically, there was a patch. I think it went out either tonight or last night. I can't remember when it was. And the patch came out, and basically, it auto updates, which means that the game has to restart and the console has to restart. And you just think, if you were in the middle of a run and you'd saved it, or not saved it, if you put it in rest, you've lost it.
Yeah.
And it's weird because even if PlayStation had something in the same way that Xbox has, with the what's it called? The ability to just change between games.
Smart resume. Quick resume.
Quick resume. It's very smart. But the quick resume anyway. Yeah. Even if they had something like that, which they can do, clearly they can implement. Which I'm surprised they haven't done it because it's a genius idea. You can't do that. You're just relying on being able to get to this 3-hour run, and it's been a really big thing online. I don't know whether they're actually going to implement some form of save state.
They will,
because it's a roguelike, I understand, but people are comparing it to Hades. But like in Hades, my runs tended to last. I got through like halfway through the game in like half an hour. You could probably do a run in an hour, and every time you could save after each and every run. They didn't take that long. 3 hours is a long time. Also, I guess the slight difference with the Switch as well is, even though I just said the same thing, I like to switch in and out of games, Switch, you can still kind of, putting it on rest mode in Switch feels a lot different, because it's just literally a button and you turn it back on. It feels very different. It feels different, I guess in a way. But yeah, I think that's just something for us to keep an eye on. Just 2 more stories, and then we'll move on.
Sort it out, Sony. Yeah,
sort it out. Lots for them to sort out.
Stop making so much money.
It is.
Sort it out.
It is. Dav, do you know what the day was 2 days ago? Do you know what the special day?
Yes, I do. It's Star Wars.
It was Star Wars Day 2 days ago, May the 4th. Be with you.
Thank you. Chicken Patty was the person who reminded me of that.
Really? Well, ACP, legend, absolute legend. In the US, they actually compiled a list of the top 10 best-selling Star Wars games in the US from January 1995 all the way through to March 2021.
Oh.
I want you to just have a guess. I want you to you don't have to guess which one's in which position, but I want you to guess some of them that are in the top 10, and then I'll read them out. And you'll be quite shocked at a few of them.
All right, let's go Jedi Fallen Order.
Do you want me to tell you if you get them right and where they are? Yeah, I'll do that.
Go on.
Number 2.
Ooh, okay.
Number 2.
Let's say Rebel Alliance.
No Rebel Alliance.
Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. The Old Republic.
No.
Bounty Hunter.
It is not.
Super Star Wars.
Nope.
Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
No. Do you want me to read through them? Because there's
No, I'm baffled. Battlefront and Battlefront 2.
Battlefront and Battlefront 2 are first place and third place. And
both Battlefront 2s?
The original is in 6th place. And I think the original Battlefront is in 9th place.
Okay. All right, so we've got 5 of them so far, and 2 of them are the same game twice.
Yep.
So I'm going to say... Oh, wasn't there a Star Wars, kart racer? No. Okay, what else? Let's say the mobile game.
No.
Oh, does it count mobile?
So there is one game one game genre which is in your 3 times.
One game genre that's in there 3 times.
It's hard to describe, but I'll just say there's one game.
Oh, fighting game.
I don't want to say because otherwise
Go on. You tell me what else is there.
Lego Star Wars, Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, Lego Star Wars, the complete saga. And I think that's all of them. The Force Unleashed, which is in 5th place.
Oh, yeah. Force Unleashed 2?
Not in there. So the only one that is left is number 10. And this is actually really surprising.
The Vader Immortal.
No, this is really surprising, actually, because someone actually made this post saying that this means this game sold more than Knights of the Old Republic, which I'm quite shocked by. Shadows of the Empire on the N64.
Wow.
Which is in 10th place. That means that must have sold a good couple of million. Like that, because just above it was Battlefront, then the Lego Star Wars games. So that means Shadows of the Empire must have sold really, really well. But yeah, top 10 best-selling Star Wars games. You can completely understand why they made Battlefront 2, because Battlefront 1 is the best-selling Star Wars game of all time. And final bit of news, and this is just for anyone that has PlayStation and PS Plus, just the games that you can download. You can get Wreckfest on the PS5, which is... Bondos has just said they had to pull the last channel patch because it was corrupting people's save files and they were losing all of their progress. £70.
70 quid.
Yeah, Carl, I just mentioned you actually. Just mentioned you and your playing your Series S because you're saying it's really good. But yeah, the Wreckfest on PS5, as well as PS4 titles Battlefield 5 and Stranded Deep. I actually had one go of Wreckfest 5 on the PS5, and I don't know. It was weird, but I kind of liked it. I came first.
Kind of like Burnout Racing, isn't it?
I came first. So basically, you have to...
Came first?
Yeah, so you have to...
I kind of like it. Came first.
No, you have to smash everyone up, and I had... But I thought there must have been a glitch or something, because everyone else was 1, 2... I had 16 crashes, destructions. I was like, am I doing... What is this... I don't get it. But also, I've been playing Battlefield 5, which is enjoyable. I enjoyed it.
Very similar to Wreckfest.
Yeah, very. I mean, Wreckfest, wreck all of Europe and the world in Battlefield 5.
World Wreck 2.
World Wreck 2, yeah. Dav, should we talk about games we've been playing?
Oh, yeah. What have you been playing?
Okay.
What have you been playing?
Well,
you go first.
Well, this is interesting because this is the first time in probably about 2 months where I'm not going to talk about Hitman. I know this is shocking. But actually,
this is the Hitman segment.
this has become the Hitman segment where I just go, yeah, I love it. I love murdering people. So actually, the game I've been playing is a game I found, or I actually mentioned it a couple of weeks ago that I was very interested in buying. I actually did, and it was £13 on PlayStation. And that's Resident Evil 2. And I've completed runs with Leon. I completed a run with Claire, and then I did the second run, which is slightly different, with Claire again, and I got the true ending.
Wow.
So I would say, because this is the first Resident Evil game.
By the way.
Yes,
remake.
The remake, I should say. Yes, the remake. So it's the first time I've ever actually completed a Resident Evil game. It's the first thing I should say. And there's a few things that, when I was playing it through, I was like, I like that, but then I also don't like that. There wasn't that many things where I didn't like, and I would still say I can totally understand why it was nominated as one of the games of the year a couple of years ago. It's totally worth it. It's unbelievable, and I recommend it to all my friends. Actually, one of my groups, just because I know they like Resident Evil, and just buy it. If you haven't played it, just buy it. It's really, really good, and for that price as well, it's absolutely, definitely worth it. But what I realized is that I was shitting my pants all over the place. By the way, absolutely shitting it. And the thing is as well, is that often Rosie would just be watching the big TV and I'll just be on my little TV where I record the podcast and stuff, and I'll just be sitting here with my controller just sitting here, I'll just but she won't hear any of the scream, she won't hear the music, she won't hear why I've screamed, she'll just hear me screaming, and then she'll be like, what the hell? She's watching something like The Circle or something very tame in the background. But absolutely shit my pants loads of times, and I loved that. That was hilarious. This is also a thing as well. I actually have realised that I kind of understand why people enjoy playing scary games now. That, because I was shitting myself and then I was laughing at myself. I was like, you idiot, what are you doing? Why are you... But it was really good. The only thing I didn't like, and this happened a couple of times, and I'll talk about lots of things I did like, but I won't talk about it too long. There's a couple of things I didn't like because a lot of it is it's corridors. The whole thing about that game, it feels like is you. When
you're in a police station, right?
You start off in a police station, and you go underground, and you end up in the sewers, basically. So the whole game is based, in the most part, on corridors. And when you feel like you're in a space that's quite big, it's kind of a relief. That's fine for the most part, but and that actually really makes you feel claustrophobic. Actually, I really enjoyed that aspect of it. But it got to a point where I was fighting this bad guy who was actually really, really tough. And the corridor was his reach was so wide, and so was able to reach so wide and so quick that I couldn't get past him because I run out of grenades and I run out of flash grenades. I couldn't get past him without his reach being able to hit me, and I was just so basically I have to just accept that I'm going to get hit. And there was a couple of times I had to go back a couple of maybe a save before and be I have to be so careful about when I get there because I can guarantee this person's going to hit me, and it feels slightly cheap in that sense. Well, like if there was a chance of me being able to dodge or like be able to move, that would be fine. But like when you know that, like, if say for instance my health is green, I was fine, that I'm going to get hit regardless. It's kind of like, what's the point of me like even trying to heal if I know I'm going to get hit? And it was just really like and that's a couple of times that actually happened where I was just like, because the corridors are so narrow and there's a couple of bosses who do the same thing, that was really frustrating. However, I can't remember what his name is actually. I didn't look it up because he was
Mr.
terrible.
X?
I think it's Mr. X actually. Holy shit! The first time he came towards me, because I'd forgotten about Mr. X, because I'm not a massive Resident Evil fan. I am now. I'm looking forward to playing 7, and the reviews for 8 have been really good. But the first time he like smashed through a wall or whatever it was, I can't remember what it was. Oh, I think it was a helicopter. It's not like it just moved aside. And the music kicked in, and I play with my headphones. I just shat my pants and just went, I just legged it in the other direction.
No.
Honestly, man. Honestly. And there was a couple of times where like, and the thing is as well, is that like, you can run away so far, and like, he won't be around. And then you'll go through, like, you'll kind of like, not forget about him, but like let your guard down a little bit, and then you'll walk through a door, and then he'll be there and grab your face and squish it into a little bloody pulp. But you're like, oh, I better start again. Yeah, I know I complained a little bit, and I know I said that like there's other things that like maybe I would change. Overall, I think the game is awesome. Like it's so good, and it's weird because it's only about. I've only spent like 15 hours playing it overall, like, but that's over 3 runs, and the 3 runs are slightly different. You can only do certain things with all 3 of them. But I genuinely loved it. It was really, really great, and it was really nice to play something new as well. Really nice to play something new, and really nice to play a genre of games that I don't normally play.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? It's just really nice. But yeah, that's it. Resident Evil 2, I really, really, really loved it, other than when I got to meet the specific boss who would batter the shit into me, which made me scared. Otherwise, yeah, I'm done. What about you? That's it.
I've been playing a few things. I finished disc 1 of Final Fantasy IX.
Oh, nice.
Just so jolly. So jolly. So good.
Are you playing it on the Switch?
The cutscenes still look good. Yeah, still playing on the Switch.
Yeah.
Playing on the Switch.
Yeah.
And the cutscenes still look good. Zach, hey buddy. Welcome in the chat.
Hey, Zach, how's it going?
Zach, I appreciate this. Final Fantasy IX. I know you're a big Final Fantasy fan.
You just missed the Resident Evil chat as well for about 10 minutes, which is really funny.
But yeah, Final Fantasy IX Disc 1, love it. Going to be hitting game. Disc 2 in not next week, but the week after. And what else have we been playing? I played a game called Rain on Your Parade.
Oh, nice.
It's on Game Pass. And you play a little cloud, and the whole job is to rain on people.
Oh, I thought you were going to say become Barbra Streisand. I thought that's the whole game.
Rain on! Yeah. Yes, you have to like rain on people, or like you can like suck up like oil instead of water, and like set fire to people's birthday presents, and like
that's amazing.
There's like there are these people that are destroying the park, so you have to like sprout the trees all over the park again to like bring nature back, or like another level where you've got to put out a dumpster fire before it explodes all the cars. But the first level is ruin a wedding.
I love that.
it's a granddad telling the grandchild the story about a cloud who like just got to rain on everyone because you just want to.
Yeah.
And it's like it's full of memes and stuff. But it was a fun little game. But the main game I want to talk about, and it's a game that I thought I was going to complete just before we came on to do the podcast. But it turns out I unlocked the final area.
Oh, the final.
The final. And it's a first-person shooter, which involves going out in your vessel. Some would call it a tank.
Yep.
It's called Neo 1. And your job is basically to shoot as many Pokemon as you can with your camera.
I thought you were going to say the Matrix, Neo 1.
No, sadly not. But new Pokemon Snap. Oh my gosh. So jolly.
How is it? Is it
so jolly? I just got to a bit where like I was like, okay, I've done what I want to so far. Now what do I need to do to progress? And I was like, chat, what do I need to do? Because I'm on the verge of not enjoying myself.
Oh no.
But they were like, do the underwater level. I was like, okay, got the underwater level, and I saw that there was a Pokemon called a Clawitzer, which is like a lobster with a massive sort of gun as one of its claws. And I saw it like aiming towards the side. And I looked in, there was a little boulder blocking a hole. And I thought, okay, right, retry this level. So I annoyed the Clawitzer, shot it with the Illumina Orb. I'm not even going to get into the mechanics, whatever. But shot the thing with the orb, and then it shot the boulder, destroyed the boulder, and then I scanned it, was able to take another shortcut through there. Found that, got to the ancient ruins. You got to take a picture of ancient ruins in every area. Anyway, nice. Found the ancient ruins finally, and unlocks the last level of that island, which is each island has an Illumina Pokemon, which like they big up. They're like, oh, ages ago this meteorite smashed down, and some of these Pokemon that are still living since then are glowing, and like they're special Pokemon. The only difference is they glow and they have a little pattern on them. And I was like, oh, sweet. The first island, I was like, oh, I'm not going to say what they are, but I will say that most of them are anticlimactic. Because you're like, oh, the water one. It's like, oh, what could it be? Could it be Gyarados? Could it be this? Could it be that? No, it's not. It's none of those. It's something much more anticlimactic. It was a cool level. Like, these are kind of like boss levels. And like, there are certain things you have to do in order to make the thing happen to get the right picture. But spoiler alert, geez, Dad, what a way to ruin the surprise. Sorry, Chickpea. I haven't said much, but I will say, like, don't build your hopes up on what the Illumina Pokemon are going to be. They're still enjoyable, but the most important thing about new Pokemon Snap is just the cozy vibes. It's just so nice.
Yeah.
Like today, we were streaming and we just put some lo-fi Pokemon tunes on because the audio wasn't working, but it didn't really matter. It's like, yeah, all right, the audio's not working for the game. Doesn't matter. We'll just put on some nice, cool like Pokemon remixes.
Yeah,
and
it just needs to be chill, doesn't it?
Yeah, and just like you really do feel the wonder of like, oh, I didn't know that level. That Pokemon was in this level. Oh my gosh! You do a thing and it reacts and does a certain thing. And you're like, oh my gosh! And like, it's lovely.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm because I obviously haven't played the game, and I've tried not to, because I'm going to get it eventually. I've just been so skint recently with the move and all that. I just going back to when I played the original Pokemon Snap with Dav Weeks. We were playing Pokemon Stadium, and I've said this previously. We were so hyped for everything. Yeah, and then I played Pokemon Snap, and it was just a complete we were up here, and I was just like, oh,
yeah.
And I was just sinking more and more into my chair, and I'm excited, and I'm glad that it's really good, actually.
Sink into your chair when you play it.
Like,
sink
it
into
just
your chair,
feels like something to be like,
get a nice hot drink, and be like, ooh, we're gonna go like take some pictures of Pikachu.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems that way. Is is it everything that? Like, is it how you expected it to be? Do you think that it could have improved some things? Do you think it could have been...
I was hoping it would be an absolute 7 out of 10. And it's a 7.2 out of 10.
There we are.
I didn't want it to be this amazing 10 out of 10 experience. I was totally prepared for it to be like, fine. I was ready for that. I set my expectations there, and they were met, and I was happy with it.
Yeah. But I think the thing is as well, with the type of game that it is, it's one, not going to be for everyone, but also it's never really going to get someone so excited that they're going to be like, this is the best game of all time, and that's fine because for the graphically it looks beautiful. By the way,
it is beautiful for a Switch game as well.
Great, absolutely fantastic. Yeah. I know a lot of people have been complaining, saying, "Why can't Pokemon Sword and Shield look like this?" And I kind of get it, but at the same time, they're stationary and they move in the same place, whereas. Yeah, there's lots of differences, but I'm glad you're enjoying, man. I'm really, really, really glad you're enjoying. So you reckon you'll finish it tomorrow?
I think I'll finish it on Monday's stream, and then maybe never touch it again.
Really?
Yeah, like unless they bring out DLC, but I'm quite happy with not 100%ing it.
Yeah,
I've got to the point in most levels, like you do a stage, and if you get good enough photos, you get enough points, and you get a level 2 version of that exact same stage, but maybe there's a slight detour, or different Pokemon do different things. And then you get to like level 3, sometimes like level 2 or level 3, and then you've just got to get a lot of points, a lot of grinding in order to get to the next stage. And I'm like, the amount of hours it might take to get there isn't worth the one Pokemon encounter that I might get.
Yeah. I saw someone as well, like, was complaining about the point system where, like, they had 2 photographs. One of them was, like, really plain and boring, and the other one was, like, them doing something really interesting, but it was less points. And they're like, show me why. Why? I don't understand. But
yeah.
That's good. How many hours have you played it for?
Not too many. I'd say 3, 4, 7, 9 hours, maybe 9 or 10 hours. I reckon it's probably about a 12-hour game.
I was gonna say I can't imagine it's. I mean, that feels about right. Any more than that, you imagine, and it'd just be like.
Yeah, exactly.
That feels about
and
right.
if you're really enjoying it, there's so much replayability in it. Like having to get so each Pokemon you get a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, and a 4-star photo of each Pokemon to fill up your photo decks. But in those 4 different ones you get of each Pokemon, there is a bronze, silver, gold, and diamond rating.
Sure.
So if you want to go and try and get diamond rating 1, 2, 3, 4 stars of every Pokemon, that's there for you to do. And I've found about 118, about 120 Pokemon, and there's about 220 in the game.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and there's only one more island that I haven't explored. I doubt there's gonna be 100 Pokemon on that island. But yeah. So maybe there is a whole world of stuff I'm missing out on these level 4 stages of these stages.
Or maybe there's a final stage. Maybe there's that.
That will upset me, but yes. Maybe.
Whole new island. All right, Dab, anything else you want to talk about? I think we can do... Should we do like last time? Should we do a shortened quiz?
Yeah.
Let's do a shortened quiz, just because it becomes a lot harder to keep track of what everyone's picking. If you want to play along on the quiz, then write your answers in the little chat thingy on the side.
I'm covering up chat.
Yes, cover up chat. It's just really funny because I'm in the process of moving and packing all my things, and one of my things I've written here in like big blue writing is box shit. Let's see what we got. Is anyone willing to play? Because I guess if no one else is willing to play, then we just have to stop it there. Should we? if no one else, let me know in the next 10 seconds if you. Oh, Apatas is in. He won last time. Quentin. Apatas. Is Zach still around? I wonder if Zach's going to be around.
You're going down.
You're going down. Okay, we got 2 people. It's fine. We'll do.
Chickpea will half attempt it.
ACP is there as well. We'll do ACP as well.
Carl Bondos is in.
Oh, Carl's in as well. Bondos. I always mention this. Oh, Caddy's in as well. Wow, you guys. It's always really funny now when I listen back to it on the podcast, because obviously if you listen to it on the podcast, there's not really any reference to what I'm talking about. If you're just like, oh, they're all saying things, but I don't know what the hell they're saying. They're all just wanting to join the quiz.
Why do they keep talking about chicken?
Can I be on Big Al? Of course, I guess of course again if ACP and Big Al.
Yeah, that's the only team allowed though.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Let's find.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay, Rocket League actually wouldn't exist without the help of which first-person shooter? Okay, is it? I'll give you 3 options. Is it Half-Life 2, Halo 3, or Unreal Tournament 4?
I think I've got an answer.
Okay. So let me read this out again. Is it? Half-Life 2, Halo 3, or Unreal Tournament 4. When you're ready, in the chat, you can check your answers down whenever you want. Dav, you might as well just check. You might as well just.
I'm going to say Unreal Tournament 4.
Unreal Tournament 4. What's everyone else saying? Carl saying Unreal Tournament. Apatas. Cuddy saying Unreal Tournament. I'm just trying to make sure I get all these down. Number 1. Apatas. Quentin, when you say 3, okay, yeah, it's saying Unreal Tournament. I forgot the options already. ACP, is it Half-Life 2, Halo 3, Unreal Tournament 4? I guess it kind of works in 2, 3, or 4. Half-Life 2, Halo 3, Unreal Tournament 4.
I think Unreal Tournament 4 because of the engine. And Epic bought them, so I'm assuming that they use the Unreal Engine.
Well, you'd be right. Shortly after he founded Psyonix back in 2000, Dave Hagewood was hired by Epic Games to work on Unreal Tournament 2004, helping develop the vehicle-centric Onslaught mode. Then took the knowledge of the Unreal Engine he acquired working on the game and started toying around with his own vehicle-centric project, eventually adding a ball.
Supersonic... What is it called?
Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars. Yes! Woo! It's in there. I didn't even have the game. It was my friend Jamie's game, who's a patron, by the way. He had the game, and actually me and Carl used to play it. It was a lot of fun. It's pretty much exactly the same, but the maps were a bit more fun.
Right.
Okay, don't quote me on it. Which famous video game does this famous quote come from? Okay, here is the quote, and then I'll give you 3 games. No matter how dark the night, the morning always comes. No matter how dark the night, the morning always comes.
I've got a guess.
Is that Dragon Age Inquisition, Final Fantasy X, or Xenoblade Chronicles 2? No matter how dark the night, the morning always comes. Dragon Age Inquisition, Final Fantasy X, or Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Those are some good answers.
I just always try and go on the game and then go on Google and type in games like, and then it makes it easier for me.
All right, I've got a guess.
So Apatas is going with Final Fantasy. ACP's going with okay, dragons.
I'm gonna say it's B. What was B again?
Final Fantasy X.
Oh no. Yeah, Final Fantasy X.
Final Fantasy X. You're right. It was Final Fantasy X. Actually, the only game I haven't played on that list was Dragon Age Inquisition. I was trying to make games that I've actually played. But yeah, it is Final Fantasy X, one of my all-time favourite games. Rigged! Hashtag salty. Okay, we're going to continue with Final Fantasy. And this is Final Fantasy VII. So if you don't know with Final Fantasy VII, there's like a compilation series in its own right. So I want to know how many games are in the Final Fantasy VII compilation series. Okay? The games that make up the world of Final Fantasy VII. Okay? I have 3 answers. Is it 3, 4, or 5? 3, 4, or 5?
So the remake doesn't count.
I will say you can either include the remake as Final Fantasy VII or ignore the remake, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So the remake doesn't count.
Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy Remake
are the same.
As one game.
Count as one game, yes. So the same game.
Okay. I'm going to say there is... How many? 2, 3, or 4?
3, 4, or 5. So I've got a couple of 5s. I've got a 4. ACPs and 4s. Just you, Dev, when you're ready. 3, 4, or 5 games.
Oh, it's whether or not Dissidia counts as Final Fantasy VII or just general Final Fantasy. I'm going to say it doesn't count as Final Fantasy VII. And I know there's a shooter. And I know there's Final Fantasy VII. And I know there's one more. So I'm going to say 3.
You're going to say 3? The answer is 4. It's... So there's a couple of games. There was a mobile game which you probably wouldn't have got. It's Before Crisis, which came out in 2004. Then we had Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII, which came out in 2006.
Crisis Core as well.
Crisis Core was the next one, which is a bloody good game, by the way. And then Final Fantasy VII included as well. Final Fantasy VII. So
Before Crisis.
ACP, you got your points. You got your points. This is very, very close though. I think we've got 2 more questions. Here's a good one. In the US release of the Game Boy RPG Final Fantasy Legend 2, so I should point out, this isn't the same series. I also wrote half these questions 2 weeks ago, so now I'm coming back to them going, oh, shit, maybe I shouldn't have used the Final Fantasy question. Anyway, in the US release of the Game Boy RPG Final Fantasy Legend 2, Nintendo censorship guidelines meant that instead of some of the characters in the game selling opium, they sold what? Okay, is it bananas, oranges, or pineapples? So Nintendo censorship guidelines meant that instead of some of the characters in the game selling opium, they sold what? Bananas, oranges, or pineapples? This is for the video game Final Fantasy Legend 2.
What franchise is the Final Fantasy Legends game? Isn't it Saga?
The Saga games. Yeah, so it's kind of... They use the Final Fantasy name to sell the games, even though they were nothing to do with them. And
same with Dragon Quest.
Yeah, they played nothing like them either. So we got a couple of
maybe the Trials of Mana games as well. I'm going to say oranges. I'm trying to think of what the object would look like in the game.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it was an orange orb, and they went, oh, let's just call them orange.
Should have been poppies. I like that. Big L.
Should have been poppies.
I'm just waiting for Apitas. And so we got oranges. We got loads of oranges. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we've got a couple of people saying oranges, a couple of people saying pineapples, and one person saying banana. The answer, believe it or not, is bananas.
Wow.
Is bananas. They thought that Applitas is on a roll. Quentin, you smashing it again. 4 in a row.
Get out.
Okay. Here, shall I do the spin? Shall I spin the wheel?
Yeah, spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel of misfortune. Actually, I need to check if we answered any of these questions last time. No, I think we're good. I think I changed them.
Why don't you tell me what the answers to them all are, and I'll tell you if we answered them yet.
Yeah. Let me get my wheel up.
But message me privately. Don't tell everyone else.
All right. Oh no, where's the lid? There it is.
Ah!
All right, here's the wheel. I guess it doesn't really help anyone else in the chat because they're not any of us full. But if it doesn't land
famously,
on
they're famously not us.
Not one of us. Well, Zach was here. Anyway, here's the wheel. We'll spin the wheel and see what it lands on. This is the Wheel of Misfortune. Here we go. It is a Daf Gape question.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
I'll still get it wrong. They're the hardest ones.
They think it's rigged. They do. Let me get this back. So, Daf Gape question is ACP so rigged. Which playable character from Street Fighter 2 is a major in the US Air Force?
Yeah.
I just need a name, that's all, okay?
Yeah. I know it, so I'll wait.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you're comfortable, I need a name from everyone else. Which playable character from Street Fighter 2 is a major in the U.S. Air Force? And I'll add,
at least I think I know it.
So what I would say is they're just
don't say anything.
Okay. 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 We got one.
Right.
I'm trying not to say answers. I've got a couple coming through.
Answer is
just waiting for Kylie Minogue.
Okay, we got Kylie Minogue.
Yeah,
okay, is that everyone?
That's worth 10 points, by the way.
That is also my answer.
Dav, what's your answer?
Kylie Minogue. Guile.
It is Kylie Minogue, which means, believe it or not. I was just about to go into song and believe it or not, Applitas has won again. Quentin, you've won again. 5 questions right in a row, man. We should be getting you on the podcast to do it because you absolutely nailed it.
What did I get?
You had 3 out of 5.
Oh, embarrassing.
It was the Final Fantasy 7 one you got wrong, and there was another one which I can't remember you got wrong. I can't remember which one it was. There was another one. Maybe you didn't, actually. Maybe
I got 4.
I think maybe you got 4 then. Maybe I just didn't put you down. Yeah, you got Unreal Tournament. Yeah, you got 4.
Not enough, though. Wasn't enough.
Still not enough. Quentin. He Applitas won and got them all right again. But that is it. That is the end of podcast number 53. Big Al. So you and ACP got 1, but then I gave you an extra 10 points because of Kylie Minogue, because it was Kylie Minogue. So you deserve that. I've got a squad now. Done. That's the end of podcast number 53. Thank you so much for listening today. It's been really lovely to come back. We had like a 2-week break, which was unintended, but hopefully we'll be back a bit more on the streaming side as well. If you enjoyed the show, then please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Tell your friends and give us a review or comment because that would really mean a lot to us. Check our Patreon page as well. You can join up over there. Like I said, we need to do the Hall of Fame. I've had a couple of ideas of a few other things we could do. I was thinking, Dav, I don't know about you, what we could do as a new thing for the Patreon page, Patreon feature, is starting like special episodes on like the history of things. So maybe we have like a little conversation like the history of Nintendo, and we can talk about like why. Like I don't mind doing the research, I'm fine, but we can have a little chat about that. We'll maybe start doing the history of stuff. Yeah, that feels like a lot of fun. I offer something as well to anyone that is a patron because we love you guys, and it's been really, really nice to be back as well. We're also proud to say that we're affiliated with Greenman Gaming, so if you do have any gaming needs, then check out the link in the description. And I would say we're all streaming at the moment, but we're not. It's just basically Dav, and he's over on DavVG, so make sure you check him out. Like you said, he's doing Pokemon Snap at the moment. And, well, I imagine like you said, you'd be finished by Monday.
Yeah, but a lot of Pokemon trading card game online.
Pokemon Pokemon Trading Card Games online again. Still going at it. So keep an eye out on him, and hopefully we'll get Dav Weeks back next week, and then hopefully we'll get Zach back soon as well. Otherwise, you can also hit us up in the Discord. I almost didn't mention the Discord. There's some loads of lovely people in there. Check that out as well. Otherwise, I think that's it, Dav. I think we'll call it there. Thanks, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Have a lovely day. And we'll see you soon.
Tatty bye!
Ahoy!